The night air was heavy as the Israelites camped beside the Red Sea. Freedom was still new to them. Only days earlier, they had walked out of Egypt after 400 years of slavery. Chains were gone, but fear was not. As the sun rose, a distant sound broke the silence. A low rumble, then another. Dust climbed into the sky like a storm. Pharaoh's army was coming. 600 chariots raced toward them, their wheels pounding the earth. Trained soldiers stood ready, weapons shining in the sunlight. Panic spread through the camp. Mothers pulled their children close. Men looked for something, anything to defend themselves with. Behind them was death. Before them stood the sea. The people turned on Moses. They shouted in anger and terror, asking why he had brought them out to die in the wilderness. Fear erased memory. They forgot the plagues. They forgot the miracles. They forgot the God who had brought them this far. But Moses stood still. He raised his voice above the cries and said, "Do not be afraid, stand firm. You will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today." Yet even as he spoke, the sea remained unmoved and the enemy drew closer. There was no visible escape. No path, no answer yet. The people waited, trapped between what they feared and what they could not cross. As darkness fell, God spoke to Moses. He told him to lift his staff and stretch out his hand over the sea. Moses obeyed. The wind began to rise, not softly but with power. It howled through the night, pushing against the water. Waves pulled back. The ground beneath the sea began to dry. Then the impossible happened. The sea split apart. Massive walls of water stood on both sides, frozen in place while a wide path of dry land stretched through the middle. The people stared in disbelief. This was not an illusion. This was not a dream. God had made a way where none existed. Slowly, the Israelites stepped forward. Families walked between towering waters. Children looked up in awe. The sound of rushing water echoed on both sides as faith replaced fear with every step. God did not remove the sea. He led them through it. When Pharaoh saw the path, his pride blinded him. He ordered his army forward. Chariots thundered into the sea, chasing the very people God was rescuing. But the path that saved Israel was not meant to save Egypt. The last Israelites stepped onto the far shore. Freedom stood before them. Behind them, the Egyptian army was still in the sea. Suddenly, confusion struck the soldiers. Chariot wheels locked, horses panicked. Fear spread through the ranks as they realized the truth. This was not a normal battle. "The Lord is fighting for them," they cried. God spoke once more to Moses and told him to stretch out his hand again. Moses obeyed. The walls of water collapsed. The sea roared back into place, swallowing the army that once ruled the land with fear. In moments, the strongest force on earth was gone. Silence followed. On the shore, the Israelites stood in shock and wonder. The sea that had threatened them now lay calm. Their enemy was gone. They were truly free. Songs of praise filled the air. Tears streamed down faces that had once been filled with fear. A nation was born that day, not by strength, not by weapons, but by the power of God. The Red Sea became more than a miracle. It became a message. When you are trapped, when there is no way forward and no escape behind you, God Himself becomes the way.